What do you think is the biggest difference in thought process between voters like yourself and voters on the other side of the same skin color that cannot understand what you're talking about?
I would say a lot of voters on the other side just hear something and repeat it. People on my side, they hear something, they research it, and then they share it.
Trump.
Yeah, I feel like he did pretty good during his presidency.
So you don't mind my hat?
No, I don't mind at all.
So, because I mean, I did wear my hat when I approached you.
Yeah.
Did you see it when I approached
I
you?
didn't notice it.
You noticed it?
I don't.
And now that you see it, like, what are your thoughts? What comes to mind?
It still didn't change me. It's just a hat, and that's something you believe in. I support you.
Thank you so much. Would you vote for him if he comes back in 2024 against Biden?
Yes, I will.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today I got a great video to share with you guys. Shout out to that dude, Vinny. Link to the full video will be in the description box below. Hey, it's getting real out here. We are less than, 3 months away from the election, and the race is getting tight. The mainstream media is lying about the polls. They're telling everybody that would listen that Kamala is up in the polls. We know it's not true because we don't know who they're polling. But in this video right here, you're going to see some sisters come out and give you the real. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
Talking about the word black genocide is not being used enough in society right now.
We love you!
You're hearing the word genocide a lot, the Palestinian genocide. There's millions of
hurt
Palestinians
this
around the
world.
world, and they're having babies.
You only
Black
got one
Americans are not having babies because they're being pushed down the abortion route. Yes, there are a few Black Americans around the world, but they're not having babies. It's not enough to keep the population growing, and that's a conversation we need. We're at genocidal levels right now.
When did you start seeing stuff like that or evidence of that? When did that become apparent to you?
Well, I would say when they start pushing abortion is when I start paying attention and I learn about the history of Margaret Sanger and the fact that you have this one political party just keep pushing abortion, not caring that where these Planned Parenthood buildings are, who is it easily accessible to? The Black community, and that's hurting our population.
I heard the statistic that the Black community actually has the most amount of abortions. Is that accurate?
That is what I've heard as well.
Okay. Do you think that's why they pander to the Black community as far as the abortion thing goes? Because they're having
so many reasons why they pander to the Black community. That's one of them.
What are some other reasons that you see?
Well, the fact is the gullibility of the Black people, where they just have to say free, 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 and everybody run behind of them. That's the pandering that is hurting the Black community.
Lack of education.
I was just about to say that. The fact that we have a poor education system in Democratic-run cities. A lot of people talk about how the wealthy communities have all the money, but they're not thinking about which political party is running those communities, why their school system is better. You have the two major teachers union that's always pushing everything but education, everything but improving the kids' reading, writing, arithmetic skills. That will make them a productive member of society, not the nonsense that they're pushing. So with abortion, poor education, black and black crime, our population is not going to grow.
How do you feel about the legitimacy of Kamala Harris as a candidate right now?
Well,
in terms of her record.
Well, we just had a primary season. Since when did the primaries begin? Last year or something? And did she get any votes through a primary system?
Absolutely.
She got more votes. Marianne Williamson got more votes, but they're ignored. It wasn't a democratic system. It was a backroom deal because of wealthy Democratic voters who didn't like their option, and they'd swoop him out to replace her, put her in.
I want to go to Walmart again.
At that type of process, they should be insulted and angry that their votes didn't count for anything, and they're being used. And nobody cares. Nobody's saying anything. The media's not saying anything about that. This has never been done before in my lifetime. I don't know why anybody that's Democrat is not standing up and saying, wait a minute, we should have another primary, or he should step down if he's not willed to be president. Let us have a primary. There's enough time.
Voters matter.
Yeah. Let the voters speak. That's a democratic process. That's what they're always calling about, talking about how Trump is going to take away and he's going to be a dictator. But they're the ones that are doing a dictatorship right now.
How do you feel about the women that are concerned about women's rights being reduced if Trump were to get elected?
If they knew what a woman was, I would be concerned about it.
They're not moving.
They don't know what a woman is.
They're not moving
So,
up there.
you know, reproductive, we're created to reproduce. So I'm proud to be a woman. I've reproduced 3 children that God has given me the privilege to bring into this world. But they align reproduction with killing and the genocide of millions of babies. But in particular, black babies, that we don't have an inheritance, we don't have a future, we don't have generations to come if our people die. So we will cease to exist. They want to depopulate, I get it. But, you know, for Kamala Harris as a so-called woman, I don't know if she's woman or not because she hasn't really declared it yet.
And I'll text you
But
back my business
to go
card.
to black universities and colleges and talk to our young black women about abortion as reproduction and their rights, when she's not talking to them about education and how to be a strong black woman, how to value themselves,
Oh, we're
how to
moving
be
again?
a good husband. You know, things that really matter that can carry them further. She has no platform, she has no plan, she has no policy. All she is talking about is abortion, killing. So their party is about death.
That's the only thing that they have. But again, I keep saying this. They are the party of death and destruction. They're the party of slavery. They're the party of the Ku Klux Klan. They're the party of Jim Crow. These people feed off of death and destruction. They have to have it. And it's so unfortunate that this lady has flown all around the country, going to colleges, going to different high schools, and talking to young black women about quote unquote reproductive rights. When you terminate a pregnancy, it's everything but reproduction. And the fact that people are falling for it. And the other thing that these ladies had mentioned, the quote unquote democratic process. When you have people like this that will come out and say Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, and then they turn around in your face, remove a candidate out of office that received 14 million votes via a primary, and place someone in that individual spot who has never received a vote from any American citizen for president. They've never received a vote. If you guys recall, she dropped out of the race prior to the 2020 Iowa caucuses. So we're talking about an individual that has never earned a primary vote, and they've installed this person. And now all of these people that are quote unquote Democrats are just following, and they've just got on board with this, and they're not upset. They should be outraged that something like this happened, and they didn't give a people an opportunity to have a say at who should be the president that represents them in their party. This is ridiculous. People should be outraged right now, and I'm just really sad that they're not. I'm really sad that there are a lot of people that are going along to get along with this foolishness. It's really disgusting, and to be honest with you, it's very disturbing. Because if they're willing to go along with this, what else are they willing to go along with?
And add, when it comes to women's rights, the number one threat to women today is the invasion of male bodies claiming to be women, being in our spaces and being in our sports. That is the number one threat to women's rights. Abortion is reductive care, not reproductive
This
care.
guy is a famous rapper coming our way.
This is really good. This is really.
concerned. I have 3
What are
daughters.
you really concerned about?
What my friend just mentioned, I have 3 daughters, and you know, they can't play in sports, they can't go to the gym. Having men in our spaces, no one's standing up for our rights as a woman. No one. Where are all the feminists? Like, where are they? You know, we have rights. We fought long and hard to have our rights in our place, and now to have a man come in there and take over, and now men can have babies? No.
What
We're here taking a stand today for that.
What do you think is the biggest difference in thought process between voters like yourself and voters on the other side of the same skin color that cannot understand what you're talking about?
I would say a lot of voters on the other side just hear something and repeat it. People on my side, they hear something, they research it, and then they share it. They're not easily a repeater, I'll use that term, to the idiocracy that is being repeated.
So it's a difference in intelligence.
No, well, critical
I'm
thinking.
just kidding.
You have to be a critical thinker. You can't be a follower.
Right.
And black people for too long have been used and abused. They tell us what to think. They tell us how high, where to run, where to go, what to do, and we follow along. The pastors need to be accountable to God. They're not leading their people right. The Democrat leaders right here where we stand in Atlanta, who has been Democrat leaders for a lot of years since I've been here, 28 years, has always been a Democrat leader, and this place is overrun with homelessness. They need to be accountable for the policies that they're putting in place that are not doing anything for the black community, but bringing us down. And so people are just following along like sheep without having critical thought process to what is being told to them, if it makes sense or not. Common sense is common sense. If I go to the store and I can't afford to buy food with the money that I have, where it used to carry me for 2 weeks and now it's only carrying me for a few days, then that's common sense. You have to say, what is going on? What policies is taking my money and my paycheck? Why are my taxes going up? I own a house by myself, but my taxes keep going up. I got to pay for vehicle tax, house tax, sales tax, job tax. I'm being taxed to death. And when I die, I'm going to pay tax again. So something is wrong with this. And we need a president who's outside of the political realm, who's a business person, who can see things in a business perspective. Because that's what we need. America needs to run on what made it great. And that's what Make America Great Again is about. Run on the God first, our faith, our freedom, and the policies of entrepreneurship. Right here today, you see a lot of black entrepreneurs are out here, you know, selling their stuff. The black people are not afraid of hard work. We work. And that we want the opportunity to work. Giving us freedom, free stuff is only putting us still in slavery. And we don't want to be slaves. Economic slavery and slavery of 200 years ago, it's still slavery. And we don't want that. We want to be free. And we are free. Thank Lord in Jesus Christ, we are free.
Let's add, when something is given to you easily, it can be taken away from you just as easy.
Yeah, that's how they keep you in chains. So we'll all be standing in line waiting for a bread and the handout if we let Kamala Harris or any other Democrat person become president.
How do you?
Going into
She's absolutely right. I said it. The soup lines will be out in full effect if this lady gets another 4 years. But just to kind of go back just a little bit to where she was talking about the pastors and she was talking about the politicians down there in Atlanta. And I'm going to bring another person in, the quote unquote political organizers. Vince Everett Ellison, he talks about this. He has a book that he wrote. It's called The Iron Triangle. And he talks about the 3 pillars of the Iron Triangle, which is your black preachers, your black politicians, and your black political organizers. And these 3 pillars have been used and weaponized against black people by the Democrat Party. See, a lot of people don't know that your favorite pastor is probably receiving checks from the Democratic Party to tell you who to vote for. They bring these political organizers in. Let's get your vote. Let's get you registered to vote. And they want to tell you about, oh, be scared of this and be scared of that. Now the new boogeyman is Project 2025, when that's not even Trump's agenda, nor has he endorsed that agenda. But that's their new boogeyman. So you got the political organizers and your celebrities and all these types of folks. They're out there pushing the fear mongering on folks. Then you turn around and you got the black politicians. They'll tell you, hey, you got to support us. You got to do this. You got to do that. Although, yes, they are the politician in your area. Your area is not improving. Your schools are not improving. They're continuing to put Planned Parenthood buildings in your communities. They have zero intent on doing anything for you until they decide to gentrify, and then you won't be there anymore, and a new people will be there to replace you. But they use these people against you. And all 3 of those pillars receive funds from the Democratic Party to keep you down. And that's what's so sad, because you have a lot of black folks out there that do not understand that the people that you, quote unquote, are supposed to trust, you're supposed to be able to trust your pastor. You're supposed to be able to trust the politician that you've put in space. You're supposed to be able to trust the quote unquote political organizer that's telling you, I got your back, power to the people, yada, yada, yada. But these three people are actually being weaponized against you. And they are pushing propaganda that's actually against your best interests. And the sad part about it is Black folks have been falling for it for the past 60 or 70 years. And it's really, really sad. And they got this daggone game. They got it down pat. They got it down to a science. And they know how to move you, because a lot of us, we're extremely emotional. We are emotional human beings. You know, we wear our feelings on our shoulders. You know, we get real up in arms about things. We get real emotional when we laugh, cry, sing, dance. That's just who we are. But they know how to play on that emotion, and they use it against us. And shout out to these sisters here, because they said it right. You got to be critical thinkers. And I said this in the last video that I did, you know, that was similar to this with the brothers. People need to be critical thinkers. And that's the difference between a person that is going to support Trump and someone that's going to support Kamala Harris. The people that support the Democrat Party are typically low information voters. And the people that are now supporting Trump and would consider themselves a conservative or a Republican or a conservative independent, those people have taken the time to do their own research, do their own due diligence, and they've made a decision based off of the information that they've either read or, you know, videos that they've watched or information that they've been able to seek. And then they've been able to connect the dots and piece things together to see, okay, this situation actually makes sense for us. And this is why, and they can articulate to you why I am supporting a specific candidate. People on the left, they can't tell you, they can't articulate to you why they were supporting Joe Biden before Harris got in there. And they can't tell you right now why they're supporting Kamala Harris, other than the fact that they hate Trump or they want to be a part of history and elect the first female president. That's it. That's all they have. They don't know policies. They don't know anything. And they're willing to run this country into the ground to quote unquote make history. It makes no sense, man.
To that.
How do you feel about Kamala Harris all of a sudden being about closing the border down? I'll let you go first.
It's all a political scam, because everything, she's a progressive, a liberal, a California liberal, and that is her true feelings. But now she's trying to shift. But technically, it's not her saying it, it's the campaign saying it. So my question is, why aren't the media questioning her on her philosophies or her policies now to see how she would respond? They're not. Everything is based on what her campaign is releasing. We know she didn't change her mind. A leopard don't change its spots. Just the chameleon does when it's right.
Who is Kamala?
Yeah, that's a question. That's a new campaign. Who is Kamala? What does she believe in?
We don't know. Nobody knows. And I'm not going to follow her like a sheep over the cliff. Okay? She's a chameleon. She is Asian and Indian when she wants to be. She's black when she wants to be. She's white, whatever. She just keeps shifting.
Did you hear her fake her accent the other day?
Yeah, y'all. We saw y'all. And we don't know nothing about no coconut trees swinging neither.
She's out in the streets. She's out in the streets
She's
here.
going too far.
So why is the media so aligned with the Democratic Party?
It happened under Obama administration when a lot of people in his cabinet had family members, whether it was spouses or brothers, who were actually part of the executive team of the media conglomerates. Are you going to have a media attack the person who's responsible for feeding your family? No. And it just carried on. We all saw how the media treated Obama like a king, and then they attacked Trump. It's the same media, the same payment process. The same media who works for the political system that propped up Obama is the one who attacked Trump.
Not pop, but groomed.
They sure did too.
Groomed.
And they're the same ones that attacked Trump. It's the same one who hit Biden, and it's the same one who's propping up Kamala. The same.
Yeah, I mean, that was an overnight prop up. I mean, they were about to throw her off the bus, and now she's, Kamala. I mean, can we unsee what we've already seen for the last 3 years? No, we cannot. So I don't know what's going on with the Democrat voters. Are they hypnotized?
But you can be unburdened by what has been.
How can you wipe all that stuff away, erase it like it never happened? Like they weren't about to get rid of her and they weren't speaking negatively about her. She had the worst approval ratings ever for any VP in our lifetime. So, but yeah, this is trickery. And black people, Democrats, everyone, you should be like questioning things and saying, why? What happened here? What's the whole turnaround about this? And they're not questioning. So there's something wrong with critical thinking. There's something wrong where people just want to follow and believe anything just because for some reason they don't like Trump. And I think that's all it's about. But Trump is just a man. He's in the position that he's in right now. And I don't think any other Republican can do it. For the time that we're in right now, you need someone like him. You don't like his attitude and his aggressiveness, but no one else can do it than him right now. He is in the time that he's supposed to be in, right? He is taking a stand. No one else has gone through impeachment, trial, conviction, penalty, assassination. No one else has done that like he has. So yes.
And now take it back to the
Forget about Trump
We
and
got
look
you right
at
here.
policy. Look at our future.
I'm
Look at
you
what's
think you're
really
lying.
at stake. That's all I'm asking people.
I was
Wow. Shout out to those sisters, man. And they're absolutely right. Can we stop looking at these candidates and just look at their policies and vote accordingly? Hey, policy over identity politics. Policy over identity politics. That's all I'm going with. I'm looking at the policies and I'm looking at whose policies make more sense for me, my family, and most importantly, this nation. That's what matters to me the most. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Shout out to dude Vinny. Link will be in the description box if you want to watch this video without my commentary. Shout out to that brother. Go over there and give him a sub. Go over there and like the video for him as well. Hey, I appreciate each person that supports us and what we do over here, man. I really, really do. God bless each and every one of you guys. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.